Maybe whale singing.
Yeah.
I have some fat neighbours. Hello and welcome to the No.1 Crude Mistakes podcast with myself, Glenn from No.1 Projects, KJ from Crude but Efficient, and Haavard from Behind the Mistakes. Hello, gentlemen. How are we?
Good morning. Good afternoon. Good day. Yeah.
Good day.
Good day, mate.
Are you in Australia?
Yeah.
Oh, we'd have
bit down under.
Oh, okay.
We are really tired. That wasn't that funny.
The tone's been set.
Yes.
No. That being said, I mean, being down, why does that mean what it means? Because all the people down under I've met are peppy as fuck. Maybe we misunderstood something. Yeah.
Might be. Did we ever thank Martin for being on the podcast as a guest?
No. Is it too early? I mean, should we wait or yeah?
Yeah, we can wait.
Yeah, okay.
I just wanted to know.
Thank you, Martin.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, it was lovely to have you on.
That's weeks ago now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in the last season, actually. So yeah.
Yeah, season 8. I remember that well. It was good times. We were all younger then.
Prettier, healthier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm getting better with age. Anyway, let's cut the crap. What have you been up
that
to,
was
guys?
the quickest moving on ever.
We couldn't decide if it was a wine or a cheese.
Yeah, you don't need to respond to that. What have you been up to then, fellas? Who's going to start us off this week?
I mean, you're editing, so it's your decision.
All right, well, you spoke, so go on, carry on.
Yeah, what have I been doing? Yeah, I've been doing farming. Can you say that? I've been making sheep. No, singular. Yeah, I've been making a sheep, and that was fun.
I think you need to elaborate a bit before our listeners get different thoughts.
Go watch the video.
I was just going to say, so KJ, what were you doing? You did make a sheep, and you actually made a lovely video, and I'm not sure why I like that video so much, but I really did.
I got several people chipping in like, I never thought I'd enjoy watching someone making a plywood sheep, but here I am. Yeah. And I was just as surprised, basically. I think I had a glimpse of the idea last year, but it didn't happen. And then I talked to a friend of mine, who's the mother of a friend of our daughter in school. And one of the schools didn't want to put up a pride flag, and she just called the headmaster a coward, and rightfully so. And then, of course, around town, people have been putting up sheeps for advertisement for like a farming festival. And of course, for a couple of years, they've made these rainbow sheeps as well, just to show that we are an inclusive and diverse society. And of course, instantly someone trashes them in the cover of the night, and then it pisses me off when people are breaking something that isn't theirs. It equals stealing. It really rubs me the wrong way. And I had the idea, well, fuck it, I can make a sheep and put it up again. And of course, I just decided, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And I had that thought on Thursday, I believe, and then I just like instantly, all right, how do you make a sheep? I need plywood, so I went up and measured and filmed myself doing so, and then just went to the hardware store and got some cheap plywood and got myself some paint and knocked out the sheep. Yeah, it's
It was a bit odd from our point of view because we often get a inkling of what you're up to before it happens, and this one it's like, ta-da! There's a video. It's a sheep.
yeah, and I mean the best thing is having a deadline because it is June, so having a video out in July wouldn't be as appropriate, I guess. So
Yeah.
So, and I thought it's in between projects. I do have other projects, so I can't spend too much time on it either. And it's really good to go on about something without having a plan for what you're building, other than just get what's the up and down saw called? A jigsaw, and just I mean, if it looks like a sheep, it is a sheep. And then painting rainbow colors, we all have done back in kindergarten. So, I mean, that is, knocked it out in a day.
It was nice to see you just taking out some hand tools and just, going to town on it and not sitting by the computer and using the CNC and overthinking, but just doing instead.
Exactly. The biggest challenge was basically the oldest daughter wanting in on the action, because of course I'm in the workshop and she's running around and like, what are you doing? I'm making a sheep. Cool. Can I help? And of course I can't say no, but then I am filming for a YouTube video, and I'm sparing my kids social media until they're old enough to decide for themselves. So we painted half of the colors. And then, of course, I taped them over again. And then what I filmed myself doing was painting the other colors. And then some movie magic, because I recovered some of the paint that I did with the kid with tape. So
that's why the magically was color under the tape. Because because you taped over the red and then you took it off and then it was like blue or green or whatever.
Yeah. And of course,
I just thought that's how you painted stuff in Norway.
Yeah. And in the middle of it, I also I figured out the order of the colors wasn't right. So, of course, I changed the colors on the hoofs. And then, of course, my daughter instantly caught on that the other day. Like, wait, why do you change the colors on the feet? Oh, yeah, you noticed that, huh? And then she was determined to help me put it up as well. But then something happened and it caught her attention. So, no, I don't want to go. You go and do it. So, I had to go and put it up. And I was also on a lucky streak because the weather was beautiful. So I recorded myself on a sunny day while talking. And then I had to make the sign. And then, of course, I just looked at it. All right, if I put it up on Sunday morning, then there's no traffic because everybody's off because of the bank holiday. So then I went back early in the morning and put it up relatively quickly. And then I also refilmed the intro on the same day because I screwed up some camera settings. It's good. The audio was better as well. And it is weird from going on the first video 3 years ago on YouTube where like, should I put this out or not, to like, the first time I recorded, I think, was on Friday or something, right in rush hour almost. Just I'm going out in an intersection and rigging up a camera and then talking to a sign, and cars are passing by while I'm waiting for that little window to say what I need to say, and people are looking and waving, and I don't really care. It was just fun. I mean, I'm making a YouTube video and people are passing by. Like, hello. So it doesn't feel as awkward anymore. So that's an achievement, I think.
That's nice that you've got over that. But I don't think that's something I'm willing to do just yet.
No, I just...
you're not old enough yet.
Not old enough yet.
Haavard is old enough to not care.
And I mean, you're the one who says you just throw yourself into things just to...
No.
Yes, you said. I think we can go back and find that recording.
Never in public.
What I do is if I say I'm going to do it, then it has to happen. But I've never said I'm going to do that. I don't just throw myself into anything. But if I say it out loud, then it has to happen normally.
All right,
like magic.
Then I'll get you drunk in a couple of weeks, and I'll make you say it.
How are you going to get me drunk in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, I got the tickets and everything.
Coming to Lincolnshire.
Yeah, and then I checked the itinerary for the NEC, and it's it wasn't quite the same weekend as the Maker Central, but I mean, I guess we'll find it interesting.
B&Q will still be open.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because I think Michelle's building up an itinerary of things. Not that she wants you to do, that she's going to make you do, I think. Because KJ didn't get any culture or anything when he came here. You're going to be on the receiving end of it.
I was kind of expecting, I'm guessing we're going to have to see a church and some countryside and the beach and whatnot.
I got to see the legal food sign.
Exactly.
What more could you ask? And I saw the church in the distance. I think it was the church, or was it a castle or something? I don't know.
In Lincoln?
Yeah, there was something big.
It was the cathedral and the castle that you saw in the distance.
Okay, yeah. Both. Okay, yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so she's going to take all that out on you. So I'll pick you up from the
sorry.
airport and I'll take you back on Sunday.
We'll have a chat in the van back on Sunday.
Yeah. See how it went.
I'd probably get... I mean, I would probably get to know you even better by just hanging around Michelle, because then Glenn does this and Glenn does that, and she would probably be more unfiltered than you would.
Well, I think the thing is with Michelle that whenever I say anything wrong on the podcast, she normally gets straight on our WhatsApp group, doesn't she? And puts everybody right on there. So, yeah, it's already unfiltered. But no, very much looking forward to it. We can get drunk at least twice, so that'd be nice.
I haven't been drunk once as far as I can remember, so let's start with one and see how it goes. Might be a very slow Saturday and Sunday.
So then, KJ, what have you been up to?
I've been wondering that myself, sitting here, because I feel I should have been making more progress than I feel I have. I think I have been procrastinating by doing lots of different stuff, but nothing really meaningful. I kind of finished the edit on the Turboplane Ball video and realized that it was very boring, or I wasn't feeling it, so to say.
Yeah.
So then I had some ideas of what I can do with it, but that means it takes more time. So that's why it's not out yet. So we'll see how well that happens. And I'm trying to avoiding procrastinating the video editing by working on the next project, because I mean that's more fun, and then starting a new one and never finishing anything. I'm not going to go back into that hole again. I promise myself, because that's not fun to play catch up with yourself the entire time. But other than that, work has really been ramping up lately, mostly because I've been procrastinating there as well. I'm thinking I can fix that later, and now it is later, and later is soon too late. So I actually have to work. That feels
that's terrible.
Yeah, not just sit twiddling my thumbs and collecting a paycheck. No, I don't do that really. Sometimes, perhaps.
We've definitely noticed you've been a lot quieter of late.
Yeah, you see that. So that's why I've actually been working. I mean, not just sitting in a meeting and talking about working, but actually sitting down and doing actual work instead.
Yeah. So it says a lot, doesn't it, when me and Haavard have just been getting noisier. We've not been giving the work the same dedication as you, KJ.
Yeah, well, maybe I did less work earlier in the year and have to do more work now.
But I think it's a bit symptomatic, I think, because as Scandinavians, we are... I think this is, at least in Norway, it's the last of all the bank holidays between Easter and June. So now we have that small window where we need to get all the shit done before taking summer holiday. So of course, me and the wife has been sitting and discussing which weeks we are taking holiday and where we're going and who we're visiting. And I noticed KJ has done the same. So I'm guessing it's just the 3 weeks that we now have to get shit done before we are in August/September. So
Yeah, very much so. I mean,
Uh,
the school year ends tomorrow, and then next Friday it's Midsummer's Eve, so it's the big celebration, and then it's just a week left, and the whole country closes down for July, more or less. So yeah, if you want something done, you have to do it now.
I was laughing when he said we've got to get shit done because you take the whole of summer off, don't you?
Well, as much as you can. I mean,
Yeah.
in the summertime, that's when it's nice to live up here.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I don't know how your country still manages to function.
Well, we are really productive in March and October.
I'm not criticising it, I just don't understand it. And I am slightly jealous.
I had an idea though, and it's not that we haven't had it before, but it's not going to happen this year. But next June on Midsummer, we mentioned about going to Sweden and look at the flowery phallus symbol, and then I mean it would be cool to at some point also bring the kids along. So maybe we should do it like a family outing, just like, yep, that next happening, we're just crashing KJ for like a big family Swedish festive, and then of course we can make it interesting. So dress as your favorite Swede or something like that, and yeah.
So you could say penis. Dress as your favourite phallus.
Well, you're very welcome. Not as a phallus, perhaps, but
Yeah, it would definitely have to be a family affair if I was going to come and see the flowery phallus, because that's Michelle's birthday, Midsummer's Day. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how it is today, or if they are having these celebrations in large styles all over, so you can just join, or if we have to. Maybe that could be next year's along. We make the flower creation as a making thing one night, drinking beer and erecting something and flowers and some rope, and then on Saturday we have lunch and picnic and dance around. I mean, your garden is big enough, so.
yeah, that was what we did during COVID, and the kids think back on it fondly. At least the oldest one, because he doesn't like crowds, so we thought it was nice if it's just us. But I mean, that's on Midsummer's Eve. Just have to have more than 10 Swedes in the same place, and then celebration happens, more or less. So it's everywhere.
But then the question is bonfires also involved in this celebration usually?
Nope, that's earlier. That's last of April.
Okay, yeah.
Because we can't burn stuff in the summer, then we'll burn the entire country down.
Yeah,
it's too dry.
The entire country is made of pine trees, yeah?
Yes, approximately. A very close approximation, actually. It's either that or granite.
Explains all the bogwood.
Yeah. So, Glenn, what have you been up to?
I got a video out.
You did?
Not a very good video, but I got a video out. Mine started with going back to Maker Central. I was in the pub on the Saturday, and Thomas was trying to cut a piece of wood in half, and nobody had a saw. Well, as it turned out, I did have a saw with me, but I didn't realise at the time. With a Stanley knife, he was trying to cut it, and he did succeed in the end. This piece of wood, and it just got me thinking. And so I sent him a little folding saw. And then another maker commented and said, "Oh, what a lovely gift!" And I said, "Well, you can have one too if you like." So I've engraved her one of my saws and decided to make a leather holster for it. It was my second attempt at leather work, and I thought I'd have a go at filming it as well. Yeah, so
And it
quite.
looked decent.
It was all right. It was just unrefined because the only leatherworking tool we have is a one of the forks for making the holes at the moment. So couldn't do much else with it. But no, I was quite pleased with how it turned out.
Yeah, it looked really good and functional and
Yeah.
all that jazz. But that explains why you had branded the. I didn't see what it was folded up. That there was a saw, and you didn't brand the holster you were making.
No, I'm not.
You've learned your lesson and never burning leather again. Is that it?
I think it's a little bit too much to send somebody a gift as well, which has 2 of your brands on. It's like
brand as a podcast.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I should have done that. Yeah, she knows who it's coming from. I don't need to keep going on about it. Do I? I mean, I already put a sticker in the box as well, so
that's nice of you.
Yeah. So that's off to the north of England to the Artful Woodsmith, and I can say that because she'll have it before this podcast comes out, so that's nice. Yeah, but no, I enjoyed it. I made it, filmed it, edited it all on Saturday, put it out, and it's nice to get a little video done in a day from start to finish.
Yeah. It's been a while since that.
Made a few mistakes on the leatherwork. I didn't read the instructions on the glue. So I just got the glue and thought, it's just like wood glue. So I just put it on one side and stuck it on. And then while I was waiting for it to dry, I then read the instructions and you're supposed to spear it sparingly on both surfaces and then apply it. And
it's one of those.
What glue was it?
Leather glue.
I just used regular PV kids glue. It worked perfectly.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I made that holster for my sunglasses and I wanted to have like a magnetic latch, so I had one magnet in the flappy part, so I cut out a smaller piece of leather, put some glue on that and just sandwiched the magnet in there, and it's been on for years. No worries. Huh.
Do you know what? When I was using it, I thought this was just looks like runny PVA glue.
Yeah, probably is. Just watered down PVA glue at 50 times the price, I'm guessing.
I was going to say, then they put leatherwork on it and it costs $10 as opposed to £1.
Yeah. Next week, you'll be able to order Behind the Mistakes exclusive leather glue. I just need to buy the cheapest 1 liter bottle I have and then water it out a bit.
See how much you can cut it.
Yeah, it's leather glue now. Special recipe.
But yeah, leatherwork is definitely something I enjoy, and there are more tools on the horizon. As I said, Michelle's birthday's coming up very soon, and she's getting a whole heap of leatherworking tools.
For no reason at all.
I need to rebuy those forks. I think I mentioned it earlier because they were in so mild steel that they're looking like a geriatric patient after a couple of whacks. But I thought, was it John or was it Phil that made like a holder?
Stitching pony. The stitching pony. It was Phil.
Yeah, and I really that's my next purchase / project, I think, because I really miss that when you're hand stitching. But then I saw that the clamp was genius. I mean, why buy? I have clamps. I have a table, so.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that was John Mason's one. Yeah, just the clamp in the vise.
I have those. Yeah. I have those clamps as well, where you can swap the sides of the head, which means that it has 2 holes in it, so I can just screw it to the side of whatever table I have, and then have a stitching pony.
Yeah, why overdo it?
I watched Phil Make's stitching pony video after a little bit of chat on the Bad Audio group.
Yeah.
And now I think that's on my project list to make one of those at some point. Just a little desktop version. It'd be a nice thing to make.
You know what? God damn it. Oh, God damn it. I had one. And I didn't know. Crap. I mean, in our parents' house, there were some old wood carvings that my grandfather did, and I have his old clog iron to make, wooden shoes and whatnot. I've kept that. but it also had a big vise in wood. I never knew what it was. I don't think we have it anymore. We maybe... I need to talk to my sister afterwards. Maybe she has it, but I now realize what that was, so I don't have to make it if we have it somewhere.
Yeah, just a bit of a sand and a bit of an oil, and you've got a really
Yeah.
nice family heirloom.
Yeah, brilliant.
It's really, I know people can't see this on the podcast, but it's really lovely to see the penny drop in somebody's face, isn't it?
Yeah. And another thing I realized that one of the items that my grandfather made was... It was a chain, but it was made out of one piece of wood.
Oh, wow.
So you actually took a long stick and then you whittled all the links and then you broke them off. And the coolest thing, on the end, he had a swivel.
Oh, wow.
All made of one piece. And then they used that for goats, because goats do twirl around a lot. So when you have them on a rope or something, you need some swivel part so they don't just continue to twist the rope. And that I have taken care of somewhere. Just it's not out on display.
For when you get your goat.
Yeah, I have a sheep, so
Exactly.
we'll see for how long I put it out on the pastures. We'll see how long it lives before the wolves take it.
You have to try fixing it to the cat. Well, that'd be amusing.
Herding cats.
I mean, it
That's a
got
good
me
video.
thinking, though, double back to that. I mean, people keep breaking stuff, and then I saw this guy. He had these traditional American post boxes, the one with the flags and everything. And of course, people tend to drive around and using a bat at them from the car. And he's like, I'm going to show them. So we made one with for the pole, he used a steel beam, buried it really deep into the ground, and then he filled the metal box with concrete. So, of course, the next car came and someone swung a bat at it. They broke both their arms because that didn't move. And that got me thinking, though. I have a friend with a laser cutter. So we can, instead of 12 millimeter plywood, we can make that sheep out of 12 millimeter steel. And then I can paint a metal rod to look like wood, and then we just need a big concrete pile. And then I just have to talk to the shop who owns that piece of land if it's okay, because I need a guy with a crane. I'm pretty sure I can get someone with on that, so he can make like a 500 kilo weight at the bottom there and cover that in grass and soil, and then have a go at breaking this one.
Just hoping someone kicks it.
Yeah. Or
Or
trying
tries to
to
run
knock
it
it over
over.
with their car. I saw someone made a snowman with his kids, and in the middle of the night, people just hit the snowman with a car, and that, of course, became a sport, and he put it up again, and then someone in the middle of the night just drove over it. So the third day, he built it over a tree stump in his yard where they cut down the tree. And then, of course, in the early mornings on a Saturday, they just woke up by a big crash. And they came out and someone has curled the entire car around the tree stump. It's like, oh, you tried to hit my snowman, did you? Totaled the car.
Busted.
No, it would be really interesting, because I mean, you've done 2 out in the wild projects now. Would be to buy yourself a cheap trail cam that you could set up to see who's destroying it. I think that would be a really interesting end to the video, or an update.
Yeah, looking at AliExpress, a trail cam isn't that expensive,
No.
is it? So,
No.
just get one and put it up. And
Yeah, just hide it a little bit. Should be fine.
The question of the legality of it.
it's a GDPR thing, but I mean, it's like, who's gonna tell on me? The people who are doing the vandalism.
Yeah.
Think not.
Is the sign still up at the moment?
Yeah, I drove past it yesterday and today, and it's still up. I'm just expecting it to be torn up any day. But I did it actually on Sunday morning, because if you do it on a Friday, then you have Friday night and Saturday, and then all the drunks coming home from out, then it's more likely to happen. So I don't expect it to survive next weekend.
Right.
And then, of course, I can always put up a new one. But I didn't make. I was kind of pleased with the shape, but I didn't make a template. But I can knock another one out. But I mean, if I'm going to keep buying plywood every fourth day, so it's it's going to rack up. One is cheap,
Yeah.
literally. But yeah,
Maybe one a year for Pride Month.
yeah.
Yeah, next year make 2 and 3. And
Yeah, or we did talk about how can we get the podcast into the Guinness World of Records. I mean, I'm guessing that what's the biggest plywood rainbow sheep? It's a very narrow category. So I mean, could we make the biggest one? Doesn't need to be that big, maybe. So
as soon as you go above just one sheet of plywood, then the competition is much fewer, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, and
But then again,
it's unfair as well because I think America does bigger sheets of plywood as standard as well, don't they?
yeah,
Ours are
yeah.
Ours are 8 before standard or 120 by 240, but I'm sure they go 9 foot or something. I think
Do they?
they
I don't
get
know.
bigger. Yeah, sure. One of our
I
Americans
just think
will let us know.
they use smaller numbers so they can more numbers.
So it sounds bigger.
Yeah, like although everything. I mean, that's in English. If it's you don't measure in meters, you measure in feet because then it's 3 times as much, and the square footage compared to the square meters at 10 times, and pounds are big are more than kilos and that sort of thing. So every number seems bigger in English.
It's an interesting tactic. Maybe I'll have to employ it.
But then you go backwards with the stones thing for weight. That's just weird.
Oh yeah, we still very much do stones in weight.
Yeah, that's. I will never get my head around stones, I feel.
I still really don't understand it, KJ. I know how many stones I weigh.
I tried to Google it, but I didn't find it. But some way along the line, I found someone who made like a drawing where everything was to scale, like 1 meter and how much feet, and it was drawn really funny, and then of course all the stones and whatnot, and then like I should find that and print it and have it on my wall in the workshop, but yeah, I haven't been able to find it.
Yeah, it should really be. You make some models of it, so you get the physical representation of the difference in sizes when you talk internationally, like we do.
But then again, we should just stick to the right way, and then everybody else should just. I mean, if you wonder, Google it.
Yeah, keep grinding them down. I mean, you did. I mean, England swore that they would go metric. Was a couple of at least a couple of hundred years ago, I think. They're still working on it.
I think when it comes to measurements, I think we're mainly metric now. There's still the older generation, which is imperial, but then speed is still measured in miles per hour and not kilometers. But I mean, that's got to be an expense thing. That would have to, we'd have to change all the signs.
Well, you barely have any signs.
No,
you
you don't have to
on the road.
You don't have to change the signs. You just say that they're in kph now.
that
Easy
would be
peasy.
good for you.
Yeah, that's the easiest solution ever. And then you call it a road safety decision. Yeah, then you should pass it in Parliament as easy as.
Oh no!
I think you might have a hard time going to try to be elected with that plan.
That's one of the funniest things about going to France is driving at 140.
Yeah.
And it's legal.
I did that when we went to the States the first time, and of course when we got into the rental, the first thing I did without thinking, I just went into the settings and set it up in kilometers and whatnot, because that is easier for me to wrap my head around for how long it is and how long we'll be driving and so on. But inadvertently I also changed the settings on the speedo, so when we started running, and we're not actually following the traffic in? What's happening? And then, all right, okay. And then I saw it's miles per hour. So when it said 60 miles per hour, I was going 60 kph, and then like all the people were just passing by us, and what? There are people in a hurry.
How are you buying your beers in Scandinavia? I know when I went to Norway, I was still asking for a pint of, and I was getting something that looked like a pint of beer.
But it's not a pint.
No, and
we just call it a big strong. I think
like
it's 0.4 liters, I think, so it's smaller than a pint.
Okay.
Generally.
Yeah, and then it is two sizes here, basically. It's a 0.4 and 0.6. It used to be 0.6 was the standard. So when you said, when you call it a half a liter, give me half a liter. And then it was 0.6. And then someone figured out, well, 0.4 is also close enough, but on the cheaper side. So then we can get more revenue out of it. So yeah, 0.4 has become the standard, unfortunately.
It's not as catchy as asking for a pint, is it?
No, it's really not.
I'll have a 0.4 of that beer, please. And it's a shame because you sell really nice beer there.
Yeah. What I look forward to next time I'm going to Sweden, I'm going to check if I can get my favorite beer at Swedish prices. And it's weird that when it's made in Norway, you export it to Sweden and it's a lot cheaper. But there you have it. That's taxes for you.
Yep.
It's a juicy IPA. And I haven't, I mean, in the last, I think it's a half year since I drank a beer. And then, of course, now that I'm building my deck, I mean, you can't do construction work without drinking a beer. I mean, that's on point. So I bought one just to celebrate starting here. And then the next day I bought two. And then now I'm on 2 beers a night. Every time I'm just out and putting 3 screws into the deck. So
that's why it's going so slowly for you, because you need to drink a beer after every plank.
Oh no, I need more screws. All right, then I have to go to this hardware store and then continue tomorrow. Oh no, I bought only 1 pack. All right, have to go back again. So yeah, you stretch this entire summer.
When do you plan to be finished with the deck?
The plan is this weekend, actually, because on Thursday my wife is going away and going to be away for almost a week. So I'm going to be home alone with the kids. So I can't go anywhere. And then, of course, once they're in bed, I'll finish the deck. But it's basic. I've cut all the planks and they're measured and laid out. So it's just screwing them down. It's basically 1 day. And then a week with a bad back, or doing it over 3 days and not being too sore. And then it's marking up the lines and using the plunge saw to cut straight edges all the way around. And then the dreaded work of cleaning up all the cutoffs and whatnot that's been just tossed around willy-nilly in the yard. And then the dirt I've dig up along the edges, I need to find places to distribute that and so on. So yeah. But
just how kids make some scrapwood projects of the cuts.
Of course, on the smaller portion, it's wide enough that I can cover it with an entire length of plank, but there is a lot of offcut. And that offcut, I could use that to start the next row. But it's so narrow that I don't want any cuts. It's easier for weight distribution that I just do it full planks all the way. That means I now have 40-50 offcuts on roughly 1.20 meters. And that is brilliant for the kids. Of course, I plan to do the stairs as well, so I'm going to use them on that. But in the meantime, they've just, around the old stairs, they've just pulled on all the planks and made like a pillow fort of planks, and then they get their duvet and all the teddy bears and whatnot. And today they ate dinner outside because they were playing house. So it's brilliant just looking at the kids and remembering I used to do that, and it was the best summers ever when you just found some scrap wood and made a tree house or whatnot, and I could just see them having the exact same experience. And I'm just piling on. Oh, you want to eat dinner outside? Yay! Yeah, that's brilliant.
Nice.
When we did our deck, me and Michelle measured the quantity of wood so carefully that I think we only had 1 metre spare. So when I was laying the decks and cutting it, there was barely any wastage. And then it came to the end and we realised we'd measured it wrong, and I'd got, I think, 6 metres left over.
Yeah.
Could have made my life so much easier.
Yeah, I bought it in 2 batches because I couldn't pile everything on the trailer anyway. So, and I bought more on the second run just to be sure that to get done. And then I know that I need to do the stairs, but also I could easily knock up 3 or 4 flower pots or whatnot that matches the deck, so I can put around. I can make a small bench or whatnot. I need to decorate it, or some edge trimming or whatnot. I can always find usage for the leftover materials.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, it's nice. And I bought a new Acer and put down where the old one stood and died. So hopefully this one will survive.
Which one did you buy?
Oh, the same one as last time. Japanese blood something.
The red one.
Yeah, but there are many red ones. But yeah, this is the same red one as last time. Yeah.
So you put up a big fence around it this time?
I'm not sure if I'm just gonna hope it goes better this time, because the year of the rats, or what they're called. It's not every year. It's like lemmings. It's certain years where they are really booming, and then it's not so much. But I was surprised. The one that stood there for, I think it stood there for 3 years, and when I had to dig out the roots now, I was amazed how big that has become, because it was a real struggle, and at some point I almost broke my shovel. So I really had to just dig around and cutting and dig and cut. You couldn't just pop it out again. So hopefully the next one will survive just as well.
Do they do all right with the winds up there? Do they not get wind damage on the leaves and things, like a scorching, a browning?
Can that be from the wind?
Yeah, very much so.
Ah, well, not that one, because it's behind the house, so it's sheltered. It means that it doesn't get as much sunlight either, but it says it can be also in shady, partially sunny.
Kind of like it shady.
Yeah, everything is shady around our house. But yeah, I had some plants that we moved outdoor this spring, and of course they got really brown leaves. It's like a yucca plant and whatnot. Okay. And I thought it was a lot of sun. We did, of course, water them plenty, but I thought maybe it was the transition from inside to outside that gave it a bit of a knockdown. But yeah, maybe it's the wind, because it's on the most exposed corner on the annex, basically. So
yeah, it's with a yucca, actually the wind will probably stand up to the window. Aces don't normally, actually. They don't like cold winds.
Oh.
So yeah.
But then again, I really don't care, because it has gotten so big. I mean, for the last couple of years, me and my wife, we had to be 2 to carry it outside, because the pot is so big, and it's huge inside in our living room. So it's like, all right, we moved it out. We're gonna ask someone if they want to take it, basically, because we're not moving it in again. And of course, at the first degree under 0, they die. They are really. I had another one that we just waited, and then just, all right, we had one night of minus degrees outside, and then that just lost all its leaves and never came back.
Yeah. My next project, actually, which I'm going to be doing on Friday, I've just had some materials arrive for today, and that's moving 100-year olive from the front garden to the back garden. And it weighs a chuffing ton. So I've got to make a little trolley for it and prune it to get it through the cathedral at the back of the workshop.
Yeah,
that's going to be a task and a half.
I'm traveling Ryanair, so I get basically no luggage. If not, I could bring you a wheelbarrow with double wheels.
Ah, okay.
Because that's a No.1 Crude mistakes. I've always wanted one, because when you're driving heavy stuff, like with the single wheel, it's always tipping over and whatnot. So I thought I would want the one with the 2 wheels. So I wished for that for my birthday, and the family came through. So came home one day, and there it was, brand new, assembled and everything, standing outside. Brilliant. And they got the biggest one because you like to lug shit around. So yeah. But then I went around the house, and then I just filled it up, and then I was going to take it to the lower part on our lot, and we have a small trail, and that's really annoying. It's very good on flat, but if you're working in small slopes where you have to compensate a bit to the left, having two wheels, it's a pain in the ass. So it wasn't as good in use that I thought it would for the part of the land I want to use it on.
Yeah.
But of course now we're gonna get a lot of gravel this year and distribute that. So I'm gonna run it through its paces. If it survives that, then good on it. But yeah.
So when you come over here, are you going to do a project? Are we going to make a video?
I
thought regular video.
I thought about that, and should it be a full video or just a short? I found that brass piece that I got for the
yes,
and I've started thinking about the intro for the Jimmy D'Aresta, and it's like, yeah, I spent so much money on the car. It's hard buying a lathe, but I mean, why spend a lot of money when you have friends with tools? And then of course film myself, and then am I gonna do like a Bobby Duke, or because I can easily with my phone just have that small piece and just film it going through the airport, airport security, film it when it's come out through the X-ray machine, and just make sure that it really shows in the video that you're taking it basically around the world, just for 5 seconds, like zoop on the lathe, just to drill the end hole, and yep, that's it. See ya, and then bye, and then going back the same way, and then just
you should absolutely do that. I think that's brilliant.
And I'm thinking I got everything except, and I can't chuck it in my drill press because I only need like 15-20 millimeter hole drilled in the end for making the sticky bit sticking in. So I mean, it's gonna be 10 seconds on the lathe, I'm guessing. So yeah,
you should definitely do that.
Yeah.
Don't forget to measure what size the sticky in bit is before you come though.
Yeah, I did. I thought about making more because I think it's 50 centimeters long, so I got at least 3 out of it. Okay. So I was thinking about ordering the pointy bits instead of using hex keys. But then again, at the local hardware store, I think you can get an ice pick for £1, and then you just take a hammer and you knock off the plastic handle and you use that. So I just have to get one of those and measure it, what the diameter is, and so I think I'll do that.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah. And it's just the right amount. I think if I came on Friday and we spent Friday evening the entire Saturday and stressing on Sunday morning before the plane leaves just to finish something, then it wouldn't be the relaxing spa. And yeah, of course, I got quite the extensive list from my wife of things to buy at Marks and Spencer's. So yeah, I'm guessing we'll have to bring Michelle as a local guide to make it as efficient as possible.
It did make me laugh when you said she's got a list for Marks and Spencer's, because Marks and Spencer's is famous for 2 things as far as we're concerned, and that's old lady bras and Percy Pigs are sweet.
I never heard about Percy Pigs, but yeah, I actually knew about the bra thing, and of course Michelle sent me a message and I just replied, yep, that's a real thing, but I don't think my wife trusts me to pick out the pair. And of course, she told me that you can try 3 different ones in the same size, and they might none of them fit. So, and then of course I'm solution orientated. So, what if I just blow up 2 balloons and we just let out the air till they have the right size, and then I can bring that to Marks and Spencer's and these are my wives. Can you get something? Like, nope, you're not doing that. So okay.
I mean, it's
clearly you could stick them to me.
Yeah.
Clearly, you need to do more research on your wife, so you have a good feel for it.
I always wanted one of those 3D scanners, so maybe this is the first project.
Honey, take your top off and stand really still.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take 5,000 photos of you.
Let me 3D print you something. Do you remember the 80s? Madonna had those bras. That wasn't a bad idea.
There's a wonderful project in there somewhere, but I don't think you can pull it off and still be married.
That's the thing, though. I mean, it's a good project, but getting my wife along, because that would be that's a clickbait ever. I 3D printed my wife a bra, and you have a picture of a chest pixelated, and then. But that would be really fun, though, to 3D print a bra.
I mean, the fun thing is you go with the project to your wife, and she just slams the door in your face, and then you have to do your own chest instead. Okay, it's a cup, but still, it's the concept is there.
Yeah, because that is... I mean, I'm guessing you could do it to a jock strap as well, but I'm thinking... once you are 3D printing a bra, I'm thinking if men had breasts... Oh, some of us arguably might have, so... But, I mean, you would accessorize them. I mean, yes, they should be padded and comfortable, but, I mean, they are up there at front, so you should utilize that. I mean, cup holder... I'm thinking EDC. Should you have a small pouch for a leather man? I mean, yeah.
Loads of women use their bra to keep their phone in and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, cash and everything. So why don't you just build it in?
Yeah. Why doesn't bras look like those fisherman vest with a lot of pockets and places to put stuff? Because women still use them as everyday carry things, but it really looks uncomfortable.
I'm not feeling qualified to join in this conversation. I just feel like I'm going to get in trouble if Michelle and have to build something in the house again. So that being said, should we head to the half pint?
Yeah, topic-wise, it sounds like we already are.
So, yeah, we're aiming for it at least.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk about it more there then.
Yeah, more tits and...
cod pieces.
Yeah.
Tits and cod pieces. That's a good episode name.
Title sorted.
Let's talk about how you get over the size adjustable thing with a 3D printed cod piece.
Yeah, it needs to be flexible.
Yeah. All right, let's head over there. Bye.
Bye.